masculine. What do you think is just leading to him having more of an offensive impact? He's playing a lot of situations for you guys, and obviously the minutes are in a good place.
Yeah, he is really matured as a player. He's taken from the moment he came up in the NHL, his first game, and just internalized everything. He's like he's very, very engaged in his own progression and development. He's eyeing and seeing what he may be able to capitalize on as far as next opportunity. Power play net front is a perfect example. If you ask him, he probably had that targeted. Like, I'll be the guy that'll pay the price to be in the front of the net. Maybe observing that there's not somebody with that type of mentality or a strong enough mentality. So he is a very, very determined athlete and a very intelligent one. So
somebody pointed out all his goals this year at different strengths. Is it fair to say he's a guy you trust, regardless of the situation?
Yes, he is a guy I trust because, again, he's intelligent. He puts the work in, and he continues to find ways to use the attributes he has to perform better. That's a challenge. What I said, there's a lot there. I mean, everybody can want to be better, but they have to know how they can be better with the skill set they have at the current level within the current role they're designated. And he internalizes all that very well and targets what he's capable of doing in any role given. First line, fourth line, power play, penalty kill. Those are all different situations that you need to know what needs to be executed. What role is the coaching staff putting me in right now? Who are my line mates? What's the score of the game? What is my, what's my skill set? What can I bring here, and what moment can I bring it? He's not trying to force his skill set on the game. He's reading within a situation when he can jump, when his skill set matches that potential opportunity, and that's maturity. I mean, we're watching a player mature in front of all our eyes, really. So it's fun to see that he puts the work in.
As far as R2 goes, that was probably his grittiest goal. He really fought for that from last night. And going back to the preseason, I think all his goals have been kind of, in that area. Just how has he grasped that that's how he has to score in the NHL? That can't get forever play.
Yeah, he's willing to go to the net, which is really nice. And he's a goal scorer that's not set in his ways of, okay, I scored a certain way at the previous level. He's like, I'm not scoring here, and I demand to score, so I better do something different. A lot of players come in and, all the hindsight they have is how they were successful at the previous level, so they keep trying to do that, what their skill attributes were at the previous level, instead of, maybe inventing something new within their game. So for him, he hasn't been able to score off his shot, from outside. So being a competitive guy, he won't settle for not scoring. So he's working to the inside, and it's a different type of scoring for him. It's banging in rebounds, it's tipping in, it's even pucks off his body. He's in positions to score those type of goals, and I think that shows his determination to do that.
As far as
have you found maybe he's having it's a learning experience for him, or has been, to go back to center here in the NHL as he's moved along? Has it been a progression for him and a kind of a learning process as he's gone along here?
Yeah, he's in the midst of a process. Yes, I mean it's the highest league in the world. So I don't care where you played, what you played. You're new to the league. It's going to take you some time to different centermen, different situations. So he's engaged in that. Again, as a competitive guy, I think he's trying to figure out, what can I or can't I do. I know I was good at something at the previous level, but does it fit right now? And he's gauging that every day. You can see that even in practice. So, but the underlying thing that I love about him is he won't be denied. He's extremely competitive, and that's one reason why I would stick with him as a coach, because he's showing you that he's going to keep getting better. But he is like all our centermen. They don't have a lot of experience. Obviously, we have Cody back in the lineup. He's the only one with experience at that position. Everybody else is they're going to be far better players in the future than they are now, just by virtue of gaining experience.
Does it tend to be harder for him in the defensive zone maybe than the offensive
Actually, the defensive zone is really simple and easy, so it doesn't. You can lose a battle and then it looks bad, but from the system standpoint and the structure, it's pretty simple. The other team's bringing the puck to the net, so if you're always in the lane of the net, the puck's always coming to you, and so when you get out of position, it's very, very simple. And then it boils down to hard work and staying focused. A lot of times forwards want to leave the zone early. They're sniffing. You're waiting for. You're gauging. Okay, hang in a defensive posture, or can I anticipate a transition? And the value of anticipating transition, you get one step on an offensive transition, it's an odd man rush potentially. So you're gauging that, and that's usually when you get burned defensively. So, but as far as just killing plays in defensive structure is very simple.
As far as the minutes for him, I mean, the other night I think he played less than 10, and then it's probably a third of what he was playing maybe a year ago. How hard is that for a young player who's used to always playing, and it happens with everyone, or most of them, just to adjust to, a lot.
I think it's harder for different players, but I think it's a mental toughness issue. My career and watching, I've been in that situation where you don't get a lot of minutes as a player. I know very well how that feels. I've always watched and observed guys, and the guys that are most successful are the guys that can keep focus and concentration. And let's face it, the guys that are ready for their opportunity are the ones that succeed. Not only in hockey, in life. I mean, because you just don't know when your opportunity is coming. And that might be a great goal scorer that you think of in this league. He's waiting for the next bad bounce of the puck for the other team, and he's jumping on it. But he doesn't know if that's going to happen. You see these great players that are checked very tightly, minute after minute, shift after shift, and then one little break, but they're focused and ready for it. So, if you're only getting 10 minutes a game, be focused and ready for those 10 minutes. Those are the guys that will stay in this league. And I think he has those attributes. So it is a little bit more challenging because you're not in a rhythm, but it can only be an excuse for your long-term success, really. And I think our two's handled that great.
Still no Casey or Victor today in practice, so no.
Yeah, Casey is progressing, but that is an injury that he had to go through and is going through to give constant feedback to our medical team to gauge where he's at day to day, how hard they can push him. So that injury is something that there's just a lot of gray, and you're going day to day on hope to see if it's. I mean, obviously he does his treatments and stuff, but you're hoping the next day shows more progress. And then Paul, you asked about Victor. Victor, we got more imaging when we came back from Seattle, and that helped us. That gave us more clarity, and it helped us. It was a positive. Those imagings that we got were positives that, okay, this is going to heal. And it's a situation where with him, when he does get back, he'll be playing at 100%. Until he's not at effects where he has that injury, he's going to affect his play. So he might be a high percentage back compared to where he was before, but it's almost one of those injuries where it almost has to be perfectly healed to perform what he needs to perform. So he's gotten much, much better, and he's still day to day. Sorry to complicate what really is simple, but
is it fair to say he won't play tomorrow?
He's not playing tomorrow. Yeah, he's not. But now at Paul, it's day to day. So he could be popped in the next game. He's that close. We'll actually keep him home so he can skate and get a better workout in tomorrow here.
Is Craig on the trip?
Craig will not go on the trip. It's a one game, so it's obvious. Dell stays on the roster, so it'll be Dell and Tokarski going.